everybody. What's up, Jen? How's it going?
Fun day.
That's good. That's good. Well, welcome to everybody to the newest episode of I Must Ask You a Question with Jen and James. And yeah, it's been a crazy week. I know we were talking a little bit prior. Just it's been wild. It's been a wild week. I was supposed to be in North Carolina. I think I was telling everybody last week for my financial service job, but I had to delay that just because of kind of a COVID outbreak at the office here. So I had to do what was right and quarantine and keep away. But it's when it rains, it pours. Like everything kind of happens at once. So it's been a struggle, but we're still moving slowly but surely, prepping, going back and forth on New York Comic Con internally. But yeah, today's New Comic Wednesday. Anything exciting happening at the shop, Jen?
Yeah. So the way our releases work is that I'm super excited because all of our stuff comes in for you guys. It's sitting over there in boxes, so I'm super excited about having an unboxing tonight for those. But I did get the CBSN variant for Mall Cop and Mullet Cop. I don't know why I said Mall Cop. Mullet Cop, and I want to put in my bid right now to play Mitt in the movie.
Oh, that's awesome! Have you read it yet?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Mall Industries 2000 is the best character ever.
It is absolutely. If you guys haven't heard of Mullet Cop, and a lot of people don't know, it's by Tom Lintern, right? I didn't even see that. I love that CBSN cover. Mitt, that's the character in there. That's it's going undercover as a microwave. But it is crazy in the vein of Rick and Morty. Mullet Cop is incredible. And Tom Lintern is the creator. He did everything. Yeah. And he was actually the creator of one of Scout's very first books. It was called Gearion. Have you heard of Gearion? Yeah, it's all Japanese animation. Again, totally different style of art that Tom can do. He did with Mullet Cop. But think Danny McBride, from Eastbound and Down, Kenny Powers.
It's gotta be him. He has to play that part.
And yeah, there's some really big news on Mullet Cop, by the way. A little hint, wink, wink to everybody. We're not able to announce yet, but a pretty big powerhouse team wants to turn into an animated show. And they just have to finish up what they're currently doing that is on air in order to do it. So for people, first of all, it's a great read. It's a great art. It's absolute genius. It's not usually my type of story that I super enjoy, but I super enjoyed that one. And it's an oversized one shot. It's a $7.99. I think there's 70. It's huge amount of pages inside it.
It's giant thick.
Yeah, it's just a great bang for your buck. And it really is genius. It's like if I try to explain to you what the story was, you're like, what? It flows perfectly. The art is bright. Colors are amazing. But yeah, that doesn't come out for I think a couple weeks. We actually had
really? We're early. Okay.
Yeah, you guys get it. When shops order direct from Scout, they get a lot of their stuff way early, which is awesome. That's part of the reason why we do it. And so get a little heads up when you order direct compared to the shops. But I'm going real quick on the Diamond Preview site because we kind of go by that. When I say we had a huge week, that's an understatement. Black Hot #5 came out, Dancing with the Dragon, which, by the way, you need to read. It's by Rob McKinnon, who is an indie creator who does a lot of different books, and this is the first books that he's doing with us. It's an amazing story. Again, Dancing with a Dragon. Excuse me.
I got to interview him this week.
What's the other one? Locust #3, Redshift #2. We got the Sengi and Tembo Scoot trade that just came out, which is just an amazing story. The new volume of Shepherd. We got White Ash. Season 1 trade paperback hit the shelves, and then Little Guardian Scoot. I mean, what a huge week for Scout. It's been crazy. So yeah, are you doing a show tonight?
Oh yeah, it's going to be entirely focused. Our What's in the Box show is going to be only Scout unless we don't have enough to fill the show, which I highly doubt. It's a lot of boxes, so.
Yeah, it's so great. And I think you're going to get some comic tags, a new version of comic tags in that. And I'm not sure if it was on this order. It's probably the next one. Where we haven't released it to the public yet, but we did Murder Hobo miniatures for our tracker, our second tracker release. And miniatures, like the Warhammer game, and there's little cards that you can integrate in any of the role playing. You can add your Murder Hobos to it. It's so cool. So we offered those. Yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, 6 to 8 Central, right?
Yeah, you got it.
6 to 8 Central. Oh, I see Charlie. He's joined us.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing live unboxings and having the creators come on, because then it makes much more sense to have the person who created a thing to explain a thing, because I can explain it from a fan's point of view, right? Because I will have read it and like I can gush forever about Mullet Cop, but to hear, like, there's always stuff that is happening on the page that I might not be privy to because of the symbolism or the why. Like, I would like to know, I need to message Tom and ask him why for most of the characters in the frames that we see, I think there's 1% of the shots in the book where their mouth is actually open, and most of them
I love it. Yeah, I noticed that too. And it's like he saved it for these like big reveals for the mouth to actually open.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. Is Tom going to be one of the creators that you interview on Mondays?
I already interviewed him this last Monday, so that's all. It's all loaded up.
Oh, I missed it. That's great. Yeah, Tom's a great guy. I mean, he's one of our OG Scout creators. That's what I like to call him, OG.
You need T-shirts.
Oh, we should. We got everything. I'm excited because I took a lot of this weekend kind of being quarantined, and I really organized the new showroom. We just had boxes and boxes there, and I tell everybody I saw the light at the end of the tunnel about organizing it and kind of what I envision our new headquarters to be. And it's going to be like a destination spot. Like, some of my best brainstorming sessions happen when I talk to a lot of, like Charlie or the Davids or the Joe Schmelkes of the world. And I talked to Joe on my way home from one of the, like a 8-hour session of organizing on Sunday. And my goal for Scout HQ is to make it like a destination spot where, we might do a quarterly where we fly in creators and do like just this like huge event at the store where we do exclusive, where you can only get it at that, at our location.
And I just would be so much fun.
Oh yeah, that's like, it's definitely, and the way it's structured, I'll give everybody, when we're in there full time, I'll actually do like a video tour. I'll do the show from my phone and kind of give everybody the rundown. But we're going to do like a section that just has like glow in the dark covers, like all the different glows that we've done. We're going to do a section of like holofoils. I got a Scoot section, and we're going to do merchandise, meaning like shirts. So like if you come into the Scout HQ, you'll be able to get a Scoot shirt or a Black Caravan or a Scout proper shirt or hat. We're partnering with Comics on Coffee. Have you heard of Comics on Coffee?
Yes, absolutely. Wonderful.
They're amazing. And we're partnering with them. We're going to be doing limited release coffee bags, like 100 with variants. And the images are going to match on the variant. And we're going to sell like these specially exclusive flavored coffees that are like basically made by the team at Comics and Coffee and the creators. Like, hey, like Electric Black, like we really want to do like a, like a coffee espresso with chocolate, like a dark type of, like they can infuse whatever they want. So they're going to make this coffee to the creator specifications, and we're going to sell those together. And we're setting up a little station where if you come to HQ, you're going to have free Comics on Coffee, and we're going to be able to you can buy bags of that, and they're going to do nitro cold brew. So we're going to make it like this cool little, again, destination spot is what I want to do. So I really got the vision. I ordered a whole bunch of bookcases from IKEA because they're just great. And they've had a shortage. That's another thing I've noticed. They've been
everybody.
It's crazy.
Wood, paper, anything.
Yeah. I did a little research because we get those Billy bookcases, right? They one of their oldest line, and pretty much the only one I can actually pronounce because all the other ones are like these Swedish words. And I don't even know how to go there. And I did research, and man, it's insane. Like, I was talking to our printer. We went in for a printer visit because I think I've told you before, they're only a few miles down the road. And it was just a kind of like talking with the owners and stuff and just talking about our plans going forward. And the owner had gone, and he's a big golfer, and he went out to, the famous Pebble Beach. And there's like a famous hole out there where if you ever Google Pebble Beach, it'd probably be the image that came up where you can view the ocean. It's like you're basically on the cliff looking at the Pacific Ocean. And he was out there playing it, and he's like, it was something to see because for as far as the eye can see, there were shipping containers just completely like just everywhere, waiting to get into the port. Because I guess in Venice Beach, it is just it's been unbelievable, like how much it's backed up, and that's hitting the supply chains everywhere. Paper, like you said, paper, furniture, like items. It's crazy. We're in a very interesting world, that's for sure. So what's been the really big seller today?
Gosh.
Like what's the buzz coming in? Is it
well, there were 4 number ones that came out that have been really well received. There's like an Aftershock book and a Dark Horse book, and I'm trying to remember who the other 2 were by. It kind of feels very evenly distributed number ones. They're indie books that ended up being the hot ones.
Nice.
It was a weird, quiet week, I think, for what I could see for Marvel and DC, because Marvel just put out Kazar number 1, and DC has some regular issues, and they're running through a bunch of annuals, which are kind of interesting because they're putting all these big key events in the annuals this time around, which is I haven't seen them do that before. Marvel usually does that, where they have like a first appearance in an annual so that you don't skip buying it.
Yeah. Well, I know DC, didn't they do that with that newer character? What is it, the clown?
Clown Hunter. Mm-hmm.
Clown Hunter. Wasn't he like last year's Batman annual? Wasn't that his first appearance?
It might have been. Yeah. Because like this week, there's a Green Lantern that has Jess Cruz. She's putting on the yellow suit and joining Sinestro Corps. So that's a big move for them.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I heard like DC's had some delays too with printing as well. I think they just came out in the retailer forum and they were talking about that with it looks like the new Aftershock book. It's called Search for Hugh.
Yes, I love it because to me,
it looks great.
If you went and watched Shang-Chi, hopefully this weekend,
so good.
So that the feeling of the family conflict, like there's like you have in the family's past a dark side. That's basically what this book is about. His family. He finds out his family left their homeland because they were part of organized crime. They wanted to leave that, and they come years later. They find out where they are and come after them, and that kind of like sets the stage for the book. So he has to go back to the homeland and meet the family and try to figure out how he's going to get them to leave his parents alone.
I'm a big fan of Steve Orlando. He does some quality stuff, so I'm definitely going to check that one out. I know, kind of reminds me of Firepower. Kirkman's. I really enjoy that. I'm a huge Iron Fist fan. Like Iron Fist, Moon Knight are like my jams. Like those are 2 of my favorite characters. And Silver Surfer, like I love them. I have statues and toys all over my office and art from all 3 of those characters. And Firepower is just kind of like a modern day take of Iron Fist. If you guys haven't read it, I loved how Kirkman really is a genius, I think, and you can tell he loves comics. Like the fact that how he dropped that free trade paperback when it came out to retailers, like for free, and then did it essentially was like the free comic book day, right? The first issue was like the origin of the guy, and then he started which was the trade, the full trade at once, and then they did the regular series of after, basically gained this power, and years later when he was like domestic. Yeah. It's a great series. If you guys haven't checked it out, again, I love comics, period. Obviously, I'm biased towards Scout, but I love great comics, period. Stillwater was one that I read. I think we've talked about that one that I'm a huge fan of. I really, really enjoyed it. Lifeformed is a book that we do. If you guys haven't picked up that first nonstop issue, which is like an oversized, $3.99, it's unbelievable. It's such a good story, and we're going to be doing another nonstop with volume 2 and then volume 3. That was originally published, I think, straight to trade with Dark Horse, and we were able to get the rights. The 2 creators, just great people. Their story is incredible. I can see it being adapted for sure.
Oh, good.
So, there's so many great things. I know Joey. Joey has this really cool video. If you guys don't mind, if Jen, you don't mind, he's got it all queued up. Yeah, what's coming out this week for Scout? You want to go ahead and hit it, Joey?
Let's do it.
unless he's gone. That was great. Joey, great work, buddy.
Dance Party.
Yeah, Dance Party Scout. If you guys haven't read Sengi and Tembo, it is just in the vein of like the old animation cartoons from like the 80s and 90s, like Land Before Time. And it's just such a powerful, powerful story that you don't have to be a kid to enjoy it. It's like one of those, your traditional Disney, right? Where it's got the adult undertones, a children's story that has adult undertones, and it's just so well done. Just follows a mouse and an elephant on his last days, and a mouse who's known nothing but, you know, being a predator, kind of joining forces and realizing that there's more to life than what they have to be. And it's a powerful story. It's all done by this Italian artist, Giuseppe Falcone, who's just incredibly talented. And I couldn't be prouder of that, of a book. And of course, White Ash is one of my favorites of all time. And I'm so happy that we publish it, let alone Charlie's now our co-publisher, just from the friendship and business relationship that we formed. If you guys have not read White Ash, highly recommend catching up now with season 1. Season 2 hits in November. I've been privy to reading a lot of this stuff beforehand, and this is Scout Saga. You know, it's not taking place in space, but it's our epic, in my opinion. Another one too, to give mad props, is to, have you read Steak?
Oh, absolutely.
It's so good. Steak is this like vampire story. And by the way, like, I'm not huge. It's so funny. We have multiple vampire stories coming out, and we were almost like anti-vampire because it's been done so much. And the fact that we have multiple vampire stories coming out just shows you how these particular, like Midnight Western Theater, Steak. We have another one called Cult of Icarus that's coming out, and then She Bites, or also known as Vampire Babysitter. Which, what? Yes. All of these things are different takes on the genre that are incredible original takes. And Steak is another one that's going to be one of our backbones of Scout going forward. Season 1 just wrapped with issue number 6. We're coming out with season 2 early next year. It's just so well written. The art is gorgeous, and just some of the best books on the market. So I would highly recommend grabbing both of those, putting those on your pull list. Yeah. They're just great.
Was Vlad Dracul.
Oh, so good. That was like historical fiction based on the story of Dracula. We're releasing the comic tag next month for that one. That'll be the next batch. And we're about to, I think the title boxes are coming soon for that one as well. We pretty much have it packed. We're just doing it with the comic tags. Have you gotten any title boxes yet at your shop?
No, I haven't.
Well, just so you know, you get your retailer discount on those bad boys. And
maybe I do need to make a big display of those. That would be kind of cool.
They are so, I mean, part of the display at HQ, we're going to have a title box wall. And I mean, we just add, for those of you who don't know, our title boxes is essentially a set of comics, but we add a mystery element to it. Some of them we printed special holofoil covers that you can only get in that title box. Or, you know, store exclusives or rare variants or out of print books are mixed in. But the key is you get the full set of comics of whatever that series or story arc is.
Right.
And on top of that, you get a comic tag in there too. So if you're a collector like myself, you don't necessarily want to, you know, read this holofoil that you might have pulled. You have the comic tag that you can scan the back of the card, and boom, you can pull up the PDF of that graphic novel. And it's all for a low cost, beautiful presentation. It just depends on what's in it. So if you look at title box, you can go to scoutcomics.com/title boxes. We have a section that has all the releases. We probably have like 10 that have been released, but we're releasing them every Tuesday. We're calling it Title Box Tuesday.
See the releases, and I'm like, this is awesome that so many people are going to have an opportunity to not have to worry about, will I get the whole story?
Yeah, we feel like we cater to it. Like doing conventions, we've noticed how people love that mystery element. You know, like one of the ones, I'm sure you've seen it too, is those question marks with the Mario question marks where you get the flower or the mushroom. when you walk into the convention at the beginning of the convention, there are this company that goes to all of them. It's literally like a mountain of question mark boxes. And by the end of the convention, it is like at best a tiny hill or nothing. Because they sell them, and all that's in it, like they'll be like, hey, there's a PlayStation 5 somewhere in one of these 1,000 boxes. But yeah, these title boxes, we just think it's a great way of not only moving some of the back stock and selling it together as a set, because, you know, we just love to binge things nowadays. But we also think it's a great way, like I send it to our press release. So Scout is was nowhere near the size that we are now when a lot of these books came out. So we're giving these amazing titles that we have. There's nothing, just the timing was the only thing that was off on those. And we're sending it to our contacts again, like as a press release. And every time I do it, we get bites from Hollywood like, this sounds awesome. Can I read it? And I was like, well, yes, you can. And we send it to them.
Let me get you a copy right now.
Yeah, sure. And then it helps. You know, that's the other thing I found out being on this side, that it helps to have more content to sell it to Hollywood.
Yeah.
The more you have, the better you're off. I mean, I found that firsthand with Solar Flare, having 18 issues done. Like, it's just incredible. And boy, have there been some movement on there too. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Because to me, I feel like that's the first one you told me about forever and a half ago.
Yeah. It's been, well, it's under new management now. The original option lapsed, and I got a new one. And I can't reveal anything. I'm not supposed to, but we're at a pretty pivotal stage right now. And it's kind of like, I've been curbing my excitement, but we should know something in the next week here. Hopefully pretty big news. So knock on wood.
Like news that you'll be willing to drop, or just news that you'll know?
I don't know. I'm going to try. Like, believe me, I try to get to any kind of, just so people know if they listen to it. That's one thing that I try to do anytime we do a shopping agreement or optioning. Like I push for it to be announced, because I know the comics, right? And people get excited about it. And ultimately, you know, I'm a creator myself, and you see a huge sales spike when stuff like that happens. Yeah. And we're a creator-owned company, so that really helps the creators when we're able to announce. So I try to let people, these studios and these directors and producers, when we attach something to it, I let them know. It's like, listen, it might not be a big deal for you, like in the Hollywood trades, but in the comic trades, it's a big deal, and it really helps these creators. So I don't see I don't get why people, actually I do get it, but I don't understand it. So a lot of times they don't want to announce it.
Right.
It's because they're afraid that somebody with a lot of power would be like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a good idea. And they can pick up the phone and say, hey, listen, HBO, I have a first deal with HBO. I want to do this. Will you greenlight it? And because that person might be a like powerful person, they'd be like, sure. And it beats them to the gate. Like it's fear of losing out. I don't think that's a good way to live. That seems like it's like a really like just a bad way to do business. Because here's the thing: is like the comic's already been out there. Like if they read the comic, what's the
anyone could have done that.
It's not like it's a hidden idea. It's like, I got the greatest idea in the world. Oh yeah, what is it? I can't tell you because you're gonna steal it. It's like that just doesn't seem like I don't know. So a lot of these really cool agreements that we have, it sounds like everybody's going to be on board. So I think over the next 2 months, we're going to have a lot of announcements coming up, which it just helps the company. It helps the creators. It's exciting, but I'm hoping for the best. We get some interesting news too on the mall as well. I wish I could share it, but
right. You can just still get the buzz going. There is news about the mall is all you need to say.
Yeah. It's funny how certain takes have gone. First they wanted to do a live action, then they were going to an animated version of it, and then a contemporary version of it, and then it's just going all over the place. But it's exciting. It's just really exciting just to be a part of this world and seeing some of the like how fast things can move at sometimes and how slow things can move. It's really interesting seeing it.
Have you ever had something like that happen where something has been optioned or is in talks and it has been for a really long time, and then there's a new thing that you guys just have put out and that actually gets picked up and is already in production and moves way farther forward faster.
There's 2 books that are actually coming out that haven't hit the shelves yet, but they're coming out soon. That's, I guess, a hint. Coming out this month. That have already been at that phase before it's even released. You know, it was sold on like 1 issue, which is pretty incredible. So we're seeing that move where certain other things just stop. You know, it just stops and dead in the track. And there's really easy excuses, obviously, to use as COVID, which is a legitimate excuse. There's nothing saying that it's not. But then there's the other excuse of like, Hollywood runs a lot like Congress. You know how certain times they're like, oh, we got to get it before recess for the next 4 months. That's what Hollywood is doing. For what I've been learning, what I've been told is that pretty much summer is awful. Anywhere time after the July 4th to Labor Day, everybody's on vacation apparently. That's like just given. But after Labor Day, which just happened to be this past Monday, after the week of Labor Day, because everybody's back in Hollywood now answering emails that haven't answered apparently in the past 2 months. Next week, all the way through until Thanksgiving is like the hot season. This is where people are buying stuff. This is when announcements are made. All this huge stuff. Like there's stuff that we've been given a thumbs up to announce, but they want to wait until their other projects get announced. And that they're like, well, that's after Labor Day. So it's fascinating how Hollywood works. And then they shut down from Thanksgiving all the way up until, I believe, the 2nd week of January. And that goes through May, and then they shut down again. So that's the life cycle I've learned from Hollywood, just being on this end. That's kind of how it works. So you have these windows.
Must be nice to take those kinds of breaks.
Yeah, right? Like, I'm on vacation, or everybody else is on vacation, so nothing really happens. Yeah, it's an interesting world, but I do have to jump because we do have a pretty big conference call here that I have to get on. We're going back and forth on New York Comic Con, so that's one of the things we're going to be discussing, and a couple other movie news, I think. So kind of exciting call that I'm about to jump, but let's end the show.
Find out next week.
What was that? Oh,
we'll find out next week.
That would be awesome. So let's end the show like we did last week.
Okay.
With a question. Do you have one? Because I'm okay.
You could be a character from any movie. Who would it be?
A character from any movie. The first thing that popped in my head was Superman.
Nice.
I went straight for the gold. And then the other one, which is not nearly as cool, but it's my favorite movie, True Romance. Which he's like a murderer. But I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good one. I'd much rather be Superman. I'm going to stick with my first. I'm just saying what popped in my head. It didn't make any sense. How about you? What's your?
Oh my gosh. If I could be only one person, I mean, probably right now I'm obsessed with James Bond. So probably specifically Daniel Craig's James Bond. I know it doesn't make any sense because I'm a girl, but
no.
I'm obsessed with characters, and I'm currently obsessed with that character.
I saw a preview for Shang-Chi. They had the last Daniel Craig. It was a great preview. And did you see the news about the Matrix previews coming out tomorrow? Did you see if people haven't seen this, they have like a kind of a viral marketing I'm all about viral marketing campaigns, and they have this one where you pick either the red or the blue pill. Sorry, I got Rich Whittle said I would make a fantastic Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes, from A Fish Called Wanda specifically. That's who I want to be. Or from True Lies. Either or.
Yep.
But if you guys haven't seen the Matrix little teaser for the video, you can pick the red or the blue, and it's a little bit different for each. I'm so excited. It's one of my favorite movies of all time too, the first Matrix. It was just such a huge
I put a question out there because people started posting about that. I was like, has anyone thought about what would happen if you took both?
Oh my gosh, that is
I have no idea what would happen.
Woo. That's I've never thought of that.
There's over 18,000 variations. Oh no.
There's 18,000 variations of the teaser. How is that possible when you only have 2 choices, Joey?
That we're gonna have to do research now.
Yeah, that's research. We will touch base next week on this. Yeah, Joey, you have an answer now, though. You're on mute, of course.
I'm mute because okay. So yes, there's 18,000 variations, but what it is it's 2 voiceovers, but every time that you watch it, the clips are slightly different. They have key elements where a point hits, they have the same clip and things of that nature. But I did it like 4 or 5 different times, and I got a different variation of the same clip each time, but it was the same 2 voiceovers. But it was really cool.
Yeah, they do a timestamp of whatever time it is. Like I looked at it this morning, and they're like, it's 8:14 a.m.
It freaked me out because I was like, it was like almost 12, and I was like, wait a minute, they're telling me what time it is. That's pretty crazy.
I'll leave everybody with this. A funny story is, do you remember when that movie Snakes on a Plane came out?
Yes.
So there was a number that you can call, and you can type in numbers, and Samuel L. Jackson's did like a different voiceover. You can put names in. So I had to take names of my friends. It'd be like Johnny. It's like, Johnny, this is Samuel L. Jackson. You need to get to my movie and go see Snakes on a Plane. It was amazing. So I wish they would bring that back, because I would totally. You can have a lot of fun with that.
Oh, that's such a blast.
Well, Jen, again, always great talking with you. I will be in North Carolina next week, but I'm still going to sliver out time to do this. It'll probably be in a hotel room or at somebody's office. So awesome. And I haven't even seen that mullet cover of Mitt. That's amazing for the CBSN. That's so cool.
So much.
It's such a great series. So check it out. Again, check out Scout Comics and Space Cadets Collection. And we'll see everybody next week. And have a good week, Jen. I'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
I'll see you tonight. I'm going to check.